we're joined this morning by the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Adebowale Lawal, is a CP in Ondo State. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, CP. It's a pretty confusing situation we're seeing this morning, because we had initially thought, owing to the statement released by FAN and all the people that they listed here, they said security personnel comprising FAN's aviation security, Nigerian Air Force, Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Police Force, and other local security outfits immediately launching a joint search operation, that the Nigerian Police Force will come out to say there was no such thing. There's been a misrepresentation of what transpired. Can you tell us what truly transpired at the airport yesterday in Ondo State?
Well, thank you so much. Good morning. The issue is this. Police received information, and that led to the arrest of one of the logistics suppliers to some criminals in Ondo State. But as a matter of fact, let me make this admission first. Bandit or banditry activities in Ondo State. An arrest was made. I was told that the person was one of the suppliers of those criminals. His arrest led to the arrest, culminated into the arrest of one other suspect, making two at first at Eloyowu, then two. The second person was arrested somewhere at Iluabo. Then after the arrest, those arrested were leading police to hideouts of their gang members, which of course, there are two sides to it, by the right and to the left. So the right of it depends on where you are going. If you are going to Owo, the other community, LO community, to the right, that is where we have the airport. So they were going to that Owo side to arrest other members, the other gang members. That was exactly what happened. Immediately they cited the police, they fled. So there was nothing like invading the airport. And we have met with the management of the airport yesterday, and we were able to sort it out. There was no form of invasion at the airport, no. The airport is safe. And the manager too, confirmed when he went there, to reassure her of our efforts in ensuring that the workers there, the structures there, are well protected. So the information from FAN, very, very misleading. And that was why we refuted that, so that we made the clarification, so that the good people of Nigeria, of good people of Ondo State in particular, the group of Nigeria should not panic. Akure Airport is safe. Nothing like any invasion.
While we understand the need to reassure Nigerians and for people to be confident that the airport in Ondo State is, as a matter of fact, not just the airport in Ondo State, but at least all our airports are safe, which I think FAN also tried to underscore in their own statement. It is very worrisome when it would seem that a statement released by an authority such as FAN is disputed completely, because what you are saying is that it appears that the account being given by FAN, which is totally different from the account you are giving to us, sounds like it has been concocted in the imagination of the person who wrote this particular statement. It has no bearing whatsoever to what it is that you are telling. They sound like two completely different incidences. What we had been told initially was that some people made an incursion on the runway in Ondo State and shouting for help, saying that they were in some form of distress, and then said they had sighted people on motorbikes around that particular area, and they thought that those people could be terrorists or bandits, as the case might be, and that prompted this particular search. But you are saying that no such thing occurred, that it was one arrest that was made, and then another gang member was arrested in another place entirely, and then these people seem to be leading you somewhere. Was there any correlation with the airport yesterday, given the statement that FAN has issued?
You see, the command was shocked to read that, to read that press release by FAN, and that's why I said it earlier, that we don't carry out the operation. I wouldn't know where they got their information from. Because when I met with the manager, the FAN at the airport, we have this discussion. I was not alone. I went there with the Corps Commander and Motekon. I made her to understand that, look, this information was misleading. You can't ignore the quality. If I saying 4 bandits, as much as we didn't even not arrest 4, we arrested 2. Then another suspect was arrested outside that Iluabo. He was arrested at the top person was arrested at Iluabo. So not even 4, 3 were arrested, handed over to police. Handed over to the area commander of Bali. Not 4. So we're not saying 4 bandits are arrested at the airport. Very, very misleading. And that was why we took our time to visit the scene. And we discussed extensively with the manager that there was no such invasion. No such invasion.
So nobody made an incursion on the runway. Is that correct? There was no incursion on the runway. Nobody was seen fleeing on bikes around the airport area. Yes, motorbikes.
The bike man was one we arrested, one of the logistics suppliers that we arrested with his bike. When we arrested another person, making 2. Then the third person was arrested at Iluabo. And that's something to do with the first 2 arrest made. So that bike you are saying should have been for the first person we arrested that led to culminated into the arrest of the second suspect. Of course, the supplier must have mode of mobility now.
Okay.
So
was there any joint operation by the Air Force, Nigerian Army, and Nigeria Police Force as a result of that bike man being cited?
Upon the arrest of that bike man and the second suspect, Amotekun came in. I'm aware of the Amotekun, the state Amotekun Corps. They came in. So it was more of police, the Amotekun. And of course, you know, there is presence of other forces there. But it was not a joint operation per se. It was an information received that led to the arrest of those 2. So it was not a joint operation. You didn't carry out any joint operation.
Well, I'm sure my colleague Ayo would also like to weigh in on this conversation. Ayo, over to you.
Well, thank you, Marco. Actually, a good number of all the issues have been raised. Sir, the only challenge that I'm looking at now is how this coordination happens, particularly airport security. For an official of FAN to have made that statement public, it suggests something. He claims that your men were with them when they carried out this joint security sweep. And if you are denying it, do you think there is a need for some investigation? Perhaps something happened that you are not aware of?
I am aware of everything that happened. Everything that happened about the arrest of those 2 suspects. There was no 4 bandits were arrested at the airport. 2, there were no persons who ran through the runway. Like I said earlier, 2 suspects were arrested. They were taking the team to where the other gang members were. And on citing the police, they fled. That is it.
Was there any disruption at all? My apologies.
I mentioned also
yes.
that Those who were arrested were logistics suppliers to certain criminal elements.
We hear you on that,
Also,
CP, but
obviously,
what?
there was a bike, a rider.
Okay. Was there any flight disruption at all as a result of this activity, to the best of your knowledge?
Not at all.
So
To the best of my knowledge.
None of all of these activities got on any runway at the airport at all?
To the best of my knowledge, none. Because the manager should have told us yesterday when we met with her. I was in an office, I visited the scene. And I don't go alone. I went with the corps commander and myself.
Did this activity in any way, to the best of your knowledge, disrupt any operation of at the airport yesterday, to the best of your knowledge?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, have you spoken to any of the other security agencies that, because, I mean, as we all know, the police is the lead agency of any internal security situation. So I'm wondering if that claim has been made, and as you saw on our screen earlier, security operatives were there being paraded, I mean, showing, that their readiness and all. Was there any joint activity by your men with these people, to the best of your knowledge?
Sorry, come again.
Was there any joint activity? Because in the videos that we saw, I didn't notice any policeman at the airport from the videos that we have been seeing on the screen, and which a number of people were also aware of. Was there any joint activity between your men and other security agencies on this particular issue?
You mean as regards this particular
yes.
issue?
Yes.
The men who carried out the operation, they were not on uniform. The tactical team. The tactical team operatives that went for the operation, not police or uniform. And to go further, my other colleagues, civil defense, the Amotekun, and all of us, we've done an analysis, and we realized that there was no incursion, there was no invasion at the airport.
All right. Akure, it's back to you.
CP, we have to thank you so much for shedding light on the situation. We hope that in future that there will be greater collaboration so that we do not have a situation like this. It's quite embarrassing that FAN releases such a statement and the police has to come out to clarify and say, no such thing occurred. This is not how it happened, and this is not how many suspects we have in our custody. And this suspect, we think that they're just regular, I don't want to say regular criminals because there's no such thing, but you do know the difference, the different categories we have of criminals in our society today. We have terrorists, we have bandits, we have, and they all connote different things in terms of what is happening within a region. But we have to thank you so much for taking the time to clarify what exactly happened at the Ondo State Airport. Thank you for your time. We've been speaking with Commissioner of Police, Mr. Adebowale Lawal, who is the Commissioner of Police in Ondo State. Thank you so much, CP, sir.